This is the most important decision any of us will ever have to make in our lives. We have to decide, do we want, as British people, to determine our own destiny, to be the masters in our own land, or shall we just discard that and give everything away eventually to what is clearly emerging as a European superstate? And before the people of this country go to vote, they should ask themselves this simple question. Should we give this away on the basis that we will somehow be protected and looked after and prosper under what is no doubt, in my mind, an organisation which is effectively controlled by Germany and France? Or is it our destiny to do what our forebears did and to be global, to sail the world, to trade with our friends and partners in the Commonwealth and the wider world? Surely, ladies and gentlemen, the British people, if they have any sense and any perspective on our history and how we are, who we are, and where we got to be where we are today, which is still, I believe, the greatest nation on this planet, surely they will look at themselves and think of their country and do the right thing by voting to give us, the British people, the right to decide what happens in our own country. Now, we can talk all evening about the rights and wrongs of being in or out of the EU, and Lord Tebbit and John Redwood will say exactly what I'm saying. We agree entirely on this, and I think everyone in this room has the same view. We have to leave the EU. But we've only got 10 days left, so I don't want to talk about the EU anymore. I don't want to talk about how bad it is and how important it is that we leave, because we're all agreed that that is what we need to do. What I want to talk to you about, if I may, is to tell you why we shouldn't be spending one single moment in meetings like this in the next 10 days. We should be rolling up our sleeves. We should be using every spare moment that we have between now and next Thursday to campaign to win this referendum. And that means using every evening, every weekend, every morning outside tube stations, train stations, outside of schools, in shopping centres. It means spending evenings knocking on doors, convincing people. Because unlike most elections, when people don't want to hear about it, they're bored, this time people are engaged, they're interested, and many people are still making up their minds. And I'm finding through going around the areas in my own constituency, but other areas too, simply by giving people some basic facts and knowledge, information about this, you can swing people over. I actually think we're reaching a tipping point where huge numbers of people could easily tip to vote for Brexit. But we've got to get to them, we've got to talk to them. Because if they don't hear a message, if they don't get to hear why we've got to leave, then some of them may think, well, let's just stay as we are. So if all of us spend every moment of our time in the next 10 days to get out there and to campaign in our local communities, in our towns and our villages, don't waste your time this weekend at home watching television or enjoying yourself. We can do that afterwards. We can party and celebrate a great victory once on the 23rd of June. Spend every moment, cancel everything you don't need to do, because every hour you can speak to 10, 20 people. You can go anywhere you like and help do the work we need to do to win this campaign. Because imagine, ladies and gentlemen, how we will feel. 24th of June, we wake up and see the Prime Minister standing on the door of number 10 Downing Street, victorious, having, I think, tricked the British people into voting for something which is utterly against our history, our traditions, and our national interests. Forget party politics in the next 10 days. We'll deal with that after the referendum, won't we, Lord Tebbit? Won't we, John? We'll deal with that then. What's more important is our country. And if we fail at this point to get it right and to get the result that we know is needed for our country, we won't have another chance. This is not a referendum like an election which will come up again in 5 years' time. We can kick the people out that we've elected. You can't do that with this. This is a permanent decision. It's a legally binding, permanent constitution that we're effectively locking ourselves into, where the ultimate sovereign power is not going to be our Parliament, our Supreme Court, and our Queen. It will be the European institutions that will be, and already is, the sovereign power over so much of what we do in our own country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for the work you are all going to have to do in the next 10 days. We can win this. You can see that the mood has changed in the last 10 days. But our biggest enemy is not the deeply unpatriotic in campaign, who seems to think we're finished, we're washed up, we've got nothing left about our country. We better just throw in the towel and give up on Britain and join a federal Europe. That's really what they're saying, that we can't really stand up on our own 2 feet anymore. They're not our biggest enemy. In fact, the more they talk, the more they scare, the more they try to frighten people and publish their propaganda and tell us how diminished we are and how we better stay in the EU. The more they do that, the more people get bored of hearing it and think, actually, we don't quite believe what they're saying. Our biggest enemy is complacency. It's the idea that because we're now ahead in the polls by a little bit, and because the atmosphere has definitely changed and people are now switching a bit more to Brexit, that suddenly we can sit back and expect to win. We can't. We have to work hard and use every moment we've got to campaign for that great victory. Because if we don't, if we fail to do this, a second chance is not likely to come. This is the last chance for Britain. We cannot give the green light to Brussels. We owe it to those who have handed us what we have today. The previous generations, our fathers, our grandfathers, our ancestors, who have cherished our freedom, have defended our liberties and the fought and cherished everything that has given us the great nation that we've inherited. So let's do our duty. Let's go out and fight. Let's go out and win this referendum for our country and for future generations. Thank you very much indeed.